Yeah, good guy. What was I doing? On the positivity tip, why not? And I'll tell you why not. I saw this guy, he was a comedian, and he was one of these, and I'm not knocking the curmudgeon. I'm not knocking the misanthrope. Rock that out. I think it's got its moments. It's funny. To diss on mankind and existence and really at least profess to your distaste for it, I think it can be funny. It depends on how witty you are. But, and he was pretty witty, I have to say. He was largely funny, but it really does amaze me when, and with some comics, you can really get the feel that they really dislike the planet. They really dislike the world. They think it's so horrible. And I'm not dissing on you if you're one of those guys. You know, I didn't respect things for a very long time, but I will say that, and I don't mean to come off preachy or harsh to anyone or judgmental. If you don't, if you think the planet is a horrible place to live, I just don't think you're looking at things particularly clearly. You know, of the planets that we're aware of, I would definitely stick with Earth. And though, you know, it's easy to go, well, yeah, it was awesome before the humans got here. You know, I don't think that's the case. I think humans add an important and unique layer to what is perhaps, I mean, who knows? I'm saying this just, you know, speculatively, of course, but perhaps the greatest experiment of all time. I think the human being, I used to think it was just the brain. Oh, the brain, and the brain is fascinating and a hugely important part of the human thing, the human creature. Man, the bugs are really out. That's another thing, and I will get off the main path for this because this is something that we need to consider when appreciating the present in respect to the future and perhaps the past. Bugs and creatures, and for instance, there is a mammoth mosquito trying to get my blood, and I think that's the end of the album. It is the end of the album. Let's go ahead and, again, and this is not a knock on iPod or on Apple or anything. This is actually somewhat of an endorsement. I don't know if you guys can catch this. Half of my screen is broken. That's not, you know, I know some people are like, oh man, you're showing our product in a not so positive light. The thing works like a charm. It's just the image that broke in a bike accident. So let's see what we got. It's probably electronica. Let's not do that. I just don't feel like it right now. So I'm kind of going on the random tip. So let's see if there's anything good. I have no idea what this is. Sounds kind of exciting. Let's give it a shot. Dad gives me some music and I haven't. Ooh. Oh. It's Talking Heads. Must not have ported nicely. Let's see if we can see what the next one. There you go. It was just that track. I need to probably burn that or whatever you call it. Oh yeah, yoy. Yeah, so we worry about the polar bears. We worry about things that are just kind of falling out of favor with nature, and it's really unfortunate. And it's horrible. I'm not at all downplaying the importance of polar bears and the importance of their near extinction, their looming demise. But I know that humans have an easy time distancing themselves from these kinds of things. You're like, well, it sucks for the polar bear. I'm just really glad that, you know, my car works. And me too. And I'm really glad that we're fortunate to have petrol gas that is much cheaper here than most any other place in the world. Of course, it's got its own set of problems, but for one reason or another, maybe it's part of the natural cycle, maybe it's, I don't know, it could be man-made, could be not, it might not even be a problem. I'm not saying I'm not endorsing global warming here necessarily, though I do kind of fall in that camp. But what I'm saying, or the validity of that theory, series of theories, science. But what I am saying is that regardless of how you feel about it, when it's this warm in November, the mosquitoes don't die, which means this coming summer is going to be horrendous, heinous. This actually changes the way humans will behave during that period of time. You know, I'm thinking specifically about outdoor water parks, things like this. Well, if you have a lot of bugs that are so bad at a point that they prevent people from enjoying their time outside, they won't go outside. That hurts business. It's part of the cycle, people. And also it's just really irritating to live with, excuse me, mosquitoes that require saddles and training. Not cool. Not cool at all. Look at this. Whoa, that's awesome. Check this out. That's badass, you gotta admit. That's natural, and that's man-made with God parts. That's awesome. All right. Again, sweet. Man, that's a living space. You can do that. So my encouragement is that we look at things. Yes, things are complicated. I used to think that human beings were bad. Not bad, but I didn't really give props to the human being. Oh, excuse me. That's pretty cool. It's good to know. I just didn't put a lot of faith in humankind. I thought we kind of dragged the whole thing down. Which, excuse me, I no longer feel is the case. It simply is what it is, and I know that's a total wipe. And you're like, thanks, appreciate your being so non-committal, but you know, we're here. We are arguably the most important, the most significant. I'll just say the most, the most truly autonomous party on planet Earth. It is worth considering the power therein. And I think a lot of people are. Unfortunately, some of the people that do understand that don't really think in the decidedly long term. They think in the long term, but it's not in the humankind long term, which I've discussed briefly. I don't feel is forever, but I don't think human beings are going, in the true sense of forever, we're not going to be here. Though I do think, in support of man's ability to replicate the cockroach, I do think we'll be here until we get hit by the sun. I think even through World War, I don't know, 6, whatever, humans really do live through it. I think that we'll T2 style-y make a way. We have a knack for it. But I do think once the sun hits, we're pretty much, you know, that was the end of our run. I think it's been a good one though. But anyway,